So in today's episode, I'm going to be finishing hooking up the air supply that we have coming off of the pump. I put the pump over this side on our two 75-gallon tanks, behind it on a stand that's hanging from the ceiling, and that way I can make it isolated. If I need to, I can hang it from chains laid on the platform. So for right now, it's just a wood platform, so I'll show you that quick. So this is the platform that I built with David's help the other day. It's suspended from the ceiling. Later, if I need to adjust it with chains, I can to isolate it. So on the front there is a 3/4 inch outlet that is connected to the rubber PVC. So I'm going to go from that. I'm going to show you the parts on the table that we have laid out to get to the PVC. So this is our linear pump. This is the fitting that came with it, which is a 3/4 inch rubber PVC 90-degree elbow. Connect to that, I've got a 1-inch barbed fitting going to a 3/4 inch barb fitting, so that will fit inside the PVC valve like that. And then I have this, then we have this flex tube that is designed to isolate the PVC in the pump so it's not hard mounted. And then to go from the end of the PVC, we have this 1-inch inside barb fitting, so I can use a hose clamp again on this end. This side is threaded for the PVC coupler, and here is the PVC coupler. So it's threaded on this side, it's a slip joint on this side, so we will put PVC glue on this side to make sure it's all tight so there's no air leaks. So basic parts to get it connected to the hard line. So I'll show you what it looks like in a second. So here is the connection that we have fully assembled going up all the way to the PVC. I haven't got the hose clamps bolted down yet, but you can see that I've got them for each of the barb fittings to help secure them. I will add some PVC tape to this to stop it from leaking, though it's not under a high pressure, but any additional leaks that we can stop is great. So this fitting is designed to just slide over 1-inch PVC, which is what we have here. Now we have the thick walled stuff because we're going to be drilling into this in sections. So let me show you the T-fitting that we have for this to get up into the ceiling. So here is it loosely connected. I'm not going to glue any of the joints until I've got it finalized. So here is a section of tubing that should get us to the ceiling. Then we have a T-joint, and these are just two short pieces of PVC just to show you what it should look like when we get up in the ceiling. So I'm going to bolt all the 1-inch PVC, and I'm going to use 4 90-degree elbows and basically make a giant loop of PVC, and then I have some 1-inch PVC couplers to connect the straight sections, because our room is bigger than the sticks of PVC that I got. So here's the other part of the puzzle. These are electrical connectors. They're a 1 1/4 inch inside diameter. Here they are out of the packet. So this is designed to just sit loosely over the PVC. I can screw it down. In the application that I want, it's only got the one side because it's not a heavy structure. So what I'll do is I'll alternate them as we go around, that way it's supporting it from both sides. Alright, 12 clips.
So we have just put up that 8-foot section there with 2 clamps. And then over there we have another 8-foot section with another elbow. And now comes the one that I'm holding. So we have a good bit of it done.
So here is the PVC line completely ran around the ceiling. So now it's a case of connecting the air pump to this section and make sure we have everything where we want it. Okay, so I was gonna add another splice to get this T in, and then I realized that I've got a full length with a coupling, so if I just swap it round, then I've got enough room to put the T in without cutting anything. So the less joints I have, the less probability I have of failure in the airline. So as you can see, it works out perfectly at that height. There's the pump. Everything is loose on the pump, but all the fittings are connected. I use a slightly longer piece of PVC here just to get more flex out of this, or to raise the shelf up so that that's not so tight. But other than that, everything else is working out perfectly. Okay, so this is a DeWalt bit that we got, which is 13/64. This was the one that was recommended. So rather than drill out all our PVC, we're going to try it on this piece just to see how tight it is. We've got it in here, and obviously I'm not going to go all the way through it. I'm just going to go through the first section. So just start off slowly.
But the drill will do the work with the weight of it.
Yeah. Now Aquarium Co-op, they're the ones that I'm following their tutorial on this. They said you obviously don't need to wiggle it because it's almost a precise fit. It should push in. So that's quite a snug fit. So then I can run PVC glue around here, or quick super glue, and that'll seal this joint here. We're going to run them so that this is the face down, and that way we have access to turn them open and closed. Once we've got all the joints glued and the Zis valves in, then we can run it to get all the fumes out of it. Okay. So here is the Zis valves that we're going to be adding to the airline. So what we're going to do is we're going to run them this way in the airline so that the valve is accessible from the bottom, and then this way we can add more later if we want to, because we won't be trying to put glue in at this angle, if that makes sense. Because from this angle we can use glue to seal the hole behind it and let's have less chance of an air leak. That's why we've got them spaced the way we do. So we're going to run around and see how many we have and then space them. So here is the Zist valve that we put in. I put super glue on the inside edge and I put it in at an angle and then rotated it round to 90 degrees so we can access it from here. Right now all the valves are open, and this will allow us to vent the system once we've got everything glued in place. We put the writing so it faces outwards, put the PVC glue on both inside joints and up here on this joint. So the best way to get PVC to hold nicely is, once you get the joint together, is then rotate it round. That helps the joint go together.
And then we've now added the entire rack together without dropping anything in aquariums that have stuff.
Alright, good. Alright, so we're going to wait for that set up, and then we'll finish the last connections because they're all screw fit. And all our airlines are in.
So we just added Teflon to the white piece and we put on the blue piece. And the blue piece connects to this. What is it? Diameter is it, Dad?
It's 1 inch inside diameter.
And that connects to that. And that comes all the way down to a blue fitting, and that goes to the air pump. And then there's these, are they hose clamps?
Yeah, I'm using hose clamps on the barb fittings, and I'm going to use hose clamps on the pump itself and get rid of these spring clamps. So you want the hose clamp on first, obviously, and you want it as high as you can get it. And then I'm going to cheat. Instead of using a screwdriver, I'm going to use a socket set, because it grips better. So instead of trying to just use the slot, you're using all 6 sides, and you can get it cinched down pretty quick. And usually you'd want to run some tape around here, stop this barb from coming out, just to keep it tidy. And do the same on the other end. And try and get this on a little further. And these spring clamps off. Caesar, get out from behind there. Caesar.
Now we have even more light. And a puppy dog called the supervisor is now supervising. I don't know where he's supervising at currently, but I know that he's somewhere around here.
He's checking to make sure there's no electrical connections on the floor. And being annoying.
Let me go see if I can help him with that.
We finally have the pump hooked up. We have multiple air lines running to multiple tanks. We're going to see how powerful this is. Now, we messed around with it a little bit, but this is multiple stones in multiple tanks, if I can reach.
I believe it's 11 tanks in total with about 2 air stones per tank. So we have 22 tanks running off of this right now. Okay, so the turtle tank has a good amount of air. This tank, this is the Pleco's tank, there's a lot of air. And then there's another air stone back there with a lot of air. And the Dovice tank,
you're going way too fast.
and a lot of air coming out of this stone. Now hold.
So as you can see, we've definitely got water agitation on at least 3 tanks down here so far. In the Oscar's temporary tank, he has a lot of airflow, enough surface agitation.
Back on, so you can feel a lot. Airflow.
The 20 gallon has massive airflow on the roof, plenty of surface agitation.
As we continue to check the tanks to see how the air supply is doing, this is our 43 that is upstairs that we added 2 air stones to. So the pump is about 15 feet away from this, and as you can see, it is supplying plenty of airflow to these 2 stones. Plecos are really enjoying this. So I'll show you some other tanks that we have set up as well. So here is our 55 that we have set up in the living room. This is clear the other side of the house, and we have the air stone running off of the same pump downstairs. We ran the line across the ceiling of the basement and up through a hole in the corner, and then I don't know if you can see this, on top of the tank we ran the air line from the house to here, and then we added a T with an adjustment valve in it so that I can adjust the amount of airflow I want out of this stone. See, I can slow it down and then speed it back up when I want to. So this is giving plenty of surface agitation, as you can see. We are going to add some filters to it later. And then here is a 90-gallon goldfish tank that we have some of our amazing goldfish in. And in the corner you can see we have 2 air stones running. We also have a canister filter on this tank for filtration. Now we have the same tees I added here. So as you turn them down, I can speed up the airflow. This is how much that pump downstairs is pushing air, that I have this much control. I have 2 T-valves here, so I can adjust both of them individually. As you can see. I can slow it right down if I want to.